Last week was a really hard and challenging week. It was difficult for me to stay positive and looking forward. And honestly, I think I was fighting with myself a lot to actually get out of the house and do the things that I know make myself feel good. This week I'm in a much better headspace and I feel ready for the next steps. My cycle came like a whole week early, so I'm not quite sure what my body's doing, but after all the drugs and the hormones and the progesterone making the lining thicker and all that kind of stuff, it doesn't surprise me that my body's out of whack. But that does mean it moves up my timeline for possibly starting our next round from the middle of to the end of December now to almost the beginning of December, depending on when my next rest cycle actually finishes and then starts anew. So I guess what I've been focusing on this week is just the ordinary and what I can do within myself just to keep moving forward and keep my focus on what God wants my focus to be on. Been really enjoying my college study, and so I've got that tonight that I'll be heading off to. I've been going back to football and I should be playing my first game this season on Friday night. Usually they're Saturday games, but this week is a Friday night. I'm really looking forward to that actually, and I think it's been good to concentrate on training and just being able to put some physicality with my frustrations and just being able to like get it all out rather than just being all in my head and overthinking things, which we tend to do, but me especially. So yeah, I guess I'm just taking it one day at a time, 1 week at a time. I am just trying to do what is good and healthy for my mind and body, and this week just seems to be a much better week. It is a sunny, beautiful day today. So today I am just taking Chloe for her usual walk, and then I am getting ready to go to my first football game of the season where I'm playing. I actually am quite nervous. I've been going to training, and as you guys know, if you've been following along, football's been a big part of this journey for me. But I've just never played a game this season, and so now I'm going to have to be jumping in tonight and doing that. And I think I'm ready. But it's just a matter of getting out there and being a bit more physical. And so I guess the thing I'm most nervous about is just my stamina. And I've been back at training for the last couple of weeks, but I did take a bit of a break and playing a position I haven't played for a while and a new one I haven't really played at all. So we've got a lighter team this week and we're just doing our best and just going to do what we can. And I've been telling myself this morning the worst thing that can happen is that we lose and hopefully don't get injured. So I am just going to get ready for that and then head out to training and before the game, and then get ready to play. I'll check in with you afterwards. So I had my game last night, which was really good just to get back in there and kind of felt like I was blowing out the cobwebs physically and just felt like I could get out and move and hit and all that kind of stuff, which was really good. We didn't win, we didn't lose, we draw on 0. None of us managed to score, but it was a really well fought game, I thought. And I know a lot of girls on the other team, and they're good players, they're really solid women, and it was just really great to be able to play against them and feel like we did a good job at the end of the night, and be able to chat with people on both sides. And I think I'm really enjoying this as a team sport, and I would just recommend that if you are not into, say, team sport, if you're doing IVF, because you might not be able to participate in that part, I think having something where you have team or bonding or a women's group or something, you just need to be involved with something with people that you trust. So obviously, if you want to keep it private, don't tell everyone, but you need to be able to let a couple girls know. One thing that I was kind of surprised about, and really I shouldn't have been, is that because I've been so open with doing our IVF journey, I had so many girls from other clubs going like, oh, I was so surprised to see you on the field and playing, and are you okay to do that? And so I kind of explained what happened with our transfer and how our embryos didn't make it. And luckily I'm in a good headspace at the moment where it was okay to talk about. And to be honest, the more I've talked about it, the easier it's become. Not because it doesn't hurt any less, but just because I feel like I'm processing through it. And I guess my personality is like, okay, that didn't work, so let's get ready for the next thing. And the next thing for me is to continue to work on my physique and just get fitter and healthier, and concentrate on the things I can control to try and increase our chances. So I am back to the weight I was last time when I weighed in. So for me, I'd like to get a couple of kilos lighter just so I can not stress about being able to start this next round. And also just like maybe being just a couple kilos lighter will help our chances just a little bit more. I know with the surgery thing, it's supposed to reduce risks of complications or anything during the procedure parts, but I'm hoping also egg quality wise, and maybe preparing my uterus for actual transfer will be better if I'm a little bit lighter. So just like I said, working on the things I can. I've tried to stay really connected with people. Like I said in multiple videos, I'm an extrovert, so I know that when I'm reclusing away from people, that might be okay for one day, but if it keeps going, I know that's not healthy for me. So being a part of my team has been amazing, and they've all just been so supportive and understanding, and even though they're not going through IVF themselves, just to feel supported and loved during this time has been really encouraging. And yeah, being able to let me process while getting out of my head and just being physical. So that's been great. And then today we just kind of did some team bonding, and so a handful of us from the team were able to get together today and catch up at a friend's house and just catch up and get to know each other and share stories and all that kind of good stuff. So that was just a good time. Now I'm home. It's early evening and getting ready for church tomorrow, which I'm looking forward to. And one thing that I haven't shared. So before Chad left, our tradition has been, since we've been together, that when we're in Australia, we host Thanksgiving as it's part of Chad's culture and share that with friends and or family. And this year, because we're in my brother's apartment, which is quite small, we can host like 2 other people, but not like a full-on Thanksgiving meal for, 10 people or plus. So we were originally going to do it at a friend's house, like they were going to host it, but they're good friends of ours who are also part of the football team. And so what Chad suggested we do, and then we kind of came the plans, and it's happening, is that we would open up doing a Thanksgiving dinner for all of the women's team and their partners. And so that's what we're doing. We're going to have Thanksgiving dinner for probably 30-ish plus people. Doing turkey, ham, mashed potatoes, stuffing, cornbread, green bean casserole, like the works, and of course pumpkin pie. And we're just really looking forward to that. Chad and I love hosting together. It's something that I feel like we've been gifted, that we do together well. And so the fact that it was his idea to kind of bring all the girls and the teammates together and really get that feeling like our football is family, and that's been important as a theme for us as a club. And obviously this is one way that Chad and I like to express that. So we're playing an American sport, and now we get to bring them and get them to be a part of this amazing American holiday and kind of explain it to them. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to being able to share traditions that Chad and I have made with this growing football family, which I love. And yeah, just keeping it so things that when we do have kids, that this is a tradition we want to share with them. And hey, if we get to share it with more people, it's fantastic. So yeah, I like being able to bring in a bit of Chad's culture to us here in Australia. I think that's really important, and obviously our children will be half American, so it's important that they get to know the holidays that they celebrate as well. So that is really fun, and I managed to find these amazing sweet sugar pie pumpkins this year, and I'd never seen them before. I don't remember seeing them last year, but a couple grocery stores had the orange pumpkins. Now, if you're an Australian, you know that this is not something that we usually have regularly and available in store. But of course, Americans, I think they think, oh, that's just what pumpkin is. No, our pumpkins look very different. So, and then they had the smaller pumpkins, and I was like, oh, it's after Halloween. I wonder now that at Thanksgiving, if I can find them. Well, I went to about 4 stores, couldn't find any. And then I went to this one place called the Spud Shed, which is, I think, where local grocers kind of come and sell more direct there, as well as some other stuff. They were getting rid of all the rest of their sugar pie pumpkins, which they just call small American pumpkins or something, for, get this, 1 cent a kilo. Now, a kilo is about 2.5 pounds. So 1 cent a kilo, and I got just under 8 kilos. So it cost me 8 cents. Wrapping up this week, I just felt like I've been doing what I can to get through. I think during this journey we knew that there'd be times of just getting through. I feel like I'm a fairly resilient person, and so at the end of this week, finding joy in the everyday thing, and I guess the holiday season that's coming up too. I love doing stuff for that. It's finding joy in the little things during times when it's difficult. And so at the end of this week, I really feel like I've come through the other side, and I really just feel ready now to move on and get ready for this next round. I am a little nervous that the doctor's appointment is going to be a little close to starting the next cycle. So I guess there is the possibility, if they're wanting to do or change something up, I may have to skip the next cycle. A whole lot of questions are still unknown for me. So this coming week, I'm going to see if I can get on an on-call list to see if we can bump up that doctor's appointment. But I'm just ready to move on. I'm ready to keep going, and it's not like I've forgotten what's happened or anything like that. I can't focus on that. I can't focus on all the what ifs, because I mean, you could live forever in the what ifs. So for me, I'm just ready to pick up and keep getting through these next couple of weeks until we find out what our next steps are. For a planner like me, that's kind of hard with the not knowing the next steps, but we're just taking it one day at a time, and I feel like that's all you can do. These next couple of weeks, I'd love to address any questions you guys might have, whether it's about IVF, about our personal journey, or whether it's about the clinic that we're using, specifically in Perth, Western Australia. Anything like that, please leave in the comments below, and I will do my best to answer those questions over the next couple of weeks. I'd love to hear your feedback, and just know that I'm praying for everyone in the same infertility boat as us, whether it's been just discovered, whether you've been trying for a couple of months and it's been working, or like us, it's been years, decades. Just know that I am praying for you guys, and just that you remain to have joy in your everyday and stay hopeful for the future. So until next week, guys, I'll see you.